We have been covering the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Geeta, Kshetra, Kshetrajna Yoga. That is the name of the, it's in English, it is called as field and the knower of the field. Before we play the game in the field, we should know the field well, and we should know the knower of the field. What are the things which are subject, which will going to influence us? It will affect our game. We should know that one. In Melbourne, on the Boxing Day, there is a cricket match. One, as a player, they should know which pitch they are playing in, and they should know what are the things are subject to influence the game. Whether the weather pattern, if it's rained previous day, it is subject to the very the beneficial for spinners, or if it's a dry pitch, it is beneficial for pace people who are the very pace bowlers. It will benefit them, and the conditions which are influencing our game we should understand, and also we should know the owner of the pitch. Who is the owner? And we should play the game in aligned with the intention of the owner. He has created the pitch. He has given the field for us to play the game. What is his intention? Why we were given this field to play the game? And we should align ourselves with the knower of the field. Then only we can play the game well. If you do not align yourself with the intention of the owner of the field and our game, it may be going in an opposite direction, not in congruence with the intention of the knower of the field. And this scripture talking about the Prakriti and Purusha, one who is going to influence, and the owner. Prakriti is the one who will going to influence us. Purusha is the one, is the knower of all fields. And Kshetra and Kshetrajna, and field and the knower of the field. And Jnana to be known, and Jnana is the knowledge, Jnaya to be known through while playing before you play the game. Arjuna asked these questions. I want to know about what are the things going to influence the knower of that one, and I want to know about field and knower of the field. And I want to know about the knowledge and what is the essence of all scriptures. I want to know about that one. Repeat after me. Prakritim Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Prakritim Purusham Chaiva.
Prakritim Purusham Chaiva.
Kshetra Kshetrajna Evacha.
Kshetra Kshetrajna Evacha.
Etad Veditu Ichchami.
Etad Veditu Ichchami.
Jnanam Jneyam Cha Keshava.
Jnanam Jneyam Cha Keshava.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Idam Shariram Kaunteya.
Idam Shariram Kaunteya.
Kshetra Mithya Bhidiyate.
Kshetra Mithya Vidhiyate.
Etadyo Veti Tam Prahuh.
Etadyo Veti Tam Prahu.
Kshetrajnam Iti Tadvidaha.
Kshetrajna Iti Tadvidaha.
Kshetrajnam Chapi Mam Vidhi.
Kshetrajnam Chapi Mam Vidhi.
Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata.
Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata.
Kshetra Kshetrajnayor Jnanam.
Kshetra Kshetrajnayo Jnanam.
Yetta Jnanam Matam Mama.
Yatta Jnanam Matam Mama.
Tat Kshetram Yaccha Yadrika.
Tat Kshetram Yaccha Yadrika.
Chayadvikari Yataschayat.
Chayadvikari Yataschayat.
Sachayo Yat Prabhavascha.
Sachayo Yat Prabhavascha.
Tat Samasena Me Shrunu.
Tat Samasena Me Shrunu.
Rishibir Bahuda Geetam.
Rishibir Bahuda Geetam.
Chando Bhi Vividai Pratak.
Chandor Bhi Vividai Pratak.
ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव
ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव
हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितम्
हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितम्
महाभूतानि अहङ्कारो
महाभूतानि अहङ्कारो
बुद्धि अव्यक्त एव च
बुद्धिरव्यक्तमेव च
इन्द्रियाणि दशैकं च
इन्द्रियाणि दशैकं च
पञ्चचेन्द्रियगोचर
पञ्चचेन्द्रियगोचराः
इच्छा द्वेष सुखं दुःखम्
इच्छा द्वेषा सुखं दुःखं
सङ्गाता चेतना धृतिः
सङ्गाता चेतना धृतिः
एतत्क्षेत्रं समासेन
एतत्क्षेत्रं समासेन
अविकार उदाहृतम्
अविकारामुदाहृतम्
अमानित्वम् अडम्बित्वम्
अमानित्वम् अडम्बित्वम्
अहिंसा क्षान्ति आर्जवम्
अहिंसा क्षान्तिरार्जवम्
आचार्यो उपासनं शौचम्
आचार्यो उपासनं शौचम्
स्थैर्यम् आत्मविनिग्रहः
स्थैर्यम् आत्मविनिग्रहः
इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्य
इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्य
अनहङ्कार एव च
अनहङ्कारमेव च
जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि
जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि
दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम्
दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम्
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः
पुत्रदारा गृहादिषु
पुत्रदारागृहादिषु
नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम्
नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम्
इष्ट अनिष्टो उपपत्तिषु
इष्टा अनिष्टोपपत्तिषु
मयि चानन्ययोगेन
मयि चानन्ययोगेन
भक्तिरव्या अभिचारिणी
भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी
विविक्तादेशसेवित्वम्
विविक्तादेशसेवित्वम्
अरति जनसंसदि
अरतिर्जनसंसदि
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम्
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम्
तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
एतज्ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्ता
एतद् ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्ता
अज्ञानं यततो अन्यथा.
यज्ञानम् अत्यदतो अन्यथा.
And here Shri Krishna talks about the 20 qualities we have to equip ourselves before we can play the game. To play the game, you should have these 20 qualities. Then only you can play the game well. And one is amanitvam, not the hankering of the outcome, desired outcome. I need this type of outcome and so proud of my accomplishment. Amanitva, adambitvam, and it's not putting on a mask which I do not have. I am pretending myself that I am a very qualified person and high class person. High class person, and these days in the world, our the tailor makes us to whether we are a gentleman or a lady. Tailor defines that one. The type of dress you wear, that will give you a status in the society. People say, why are you wearing this type of clothes? Why don't you look professional? Why don't you look like a gentleman? Our tailor makes us to look a high sophisticated person or not sophisticated. Whereas Shri Krishna says, tailor doesn't make you a high class person or an ordinary person. You have to upgrade your character. Your characters makes you a high class person or an ordinary person. The characters defines what type of person, not the type of dress you wear. Not the high office party, wherever I wear a three-piece suit, polished shoes, then I so that people think I'm a gentleman. Or ladies, they think very polished lady. But inside, what Sri Krishna says, more than outside, inside is what is required. Adambitva kshanti arjavam. Kshanti means bear the insult. Kshanti arjavam. Straightforwardness in your dealing. Acharyo upasanam. Your line of thinking should align with the great people who have done that one. Not you are going tangent to that one. What great people have thought about, worked about, and led their life. You have to align yourself to their thoughts. Align with yourself to them. And for that, you have to align yourself with the teacher. And so that your characters are gets refined within. Acharyo upasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha. Not to lose confidence, have control over your senses. Indriyarteshu vairagya, have control over your not to be it's driven by your senses. And the senses are the masters. In Bhagavad Geeta, Sri Krishna elsewhere earlier he says, Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhya param manaha. Higher than the senses is the mind. Higher than the mind is the intellect. Higher than the intellect is the jiva. You have to, your senses should not drive you mad. And have a control. Indriyarteshu vairagya anahankara evacha. Anahankara, your ego should not, wreck your life. Anahankara evacha. Janma mrityu jara vyadi. Life, death, old age and disease are part of the package. Be aware of that one. Just because I have a great health now, not to be over proud. Any time the dice can change. The game can change any time. Not to be very proud of your lineage, your wealth or your health. Anything can change any time at no time. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Asakti rana bishwanga. Asakti and minimize your attachment to your property, business, your family and friends. Anabhishwanga putra dara grihadishu. Nityam cha samachittatvam. Always have a balanced mind. Samachittatvam. Ishta anishto upapattishu. Ishta anishta upapattishu. Try to go over ishta and anishta. Ishta and anishta. Try to have a calm mind, poised mind. Ishta anishta upapattishu. And upapattishu. Mai chananya yogena. Mai chananya yogena. And single pointed devotion to the Lord. Not a wavering mind. Monday we worship this God, tomorrow Tuesday someone, the Wednesday some other deity, and not a scattered single pointed devotion to the Supreme Lord. Maichananya yogena bhakti ravya avicharini vivikta desha sevitvam arati jana samsadi. Try to take the solitude, find the solitude within inside. Find the tranquility, observe the solitude, not to be always in the company of people. Spend time for yourself. Jana sansadi, adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Amrit? Adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam. Adhyatma jnana. Always the look for the inner meaning. Tattva jnanartha darshanam. Feel the essence of the knowledge. Try to get the inner meaning. Eta jnanam. These are the 20 qualities mentioned. These are the knowledge. Everything else is ignorance. The 20 qualities Sri Krishna mentioned. These are the qualities we have to acquire. And as I mentioned earlier, the tailor doesn't make us a gentleman or a high-class lady. And now the society, they expect us to dress up a certain way so that our status goes up. What Sri Krishna says, the tailor doesn't make us a gentleman or a lady. The values we inculcate in our life, that will set us apart from the rest of the society. And we covered 20 qualities, and Sri Krishna says, having this knowledge, and one gets enjoys the revels within, and experiences the joy within, and attains the immortality. There is no fear of death any longer. Repeat after me. Jneyam yattat pravakshyami.
Jneyam yattat pravakshyami.
Yajñatva amrita ashnute.
Yajñatva amrita ashnute.
Anadimat param brahma.
Anadimat param brahma.
Nasat tanna saduchyate.
Nasat tanna saduchyate.
Sat and asat. Sat means what we can see, and made up of na. It is talking about the Supreme Lord. Na sat. It is not made up of earth element, not made up of water element, not made up of fire element. Na asat. Asat means which we can't see. Air element or not ether element. The Supreme Lord is beyond these senses. These senses, this Pancha Mahabhuta, the Jiva is is bound with these five, whereas Supreme Lord is beyond that one. These five, Pancha Mahabhuta, it's subject to change, and Prakriti gives these Pancha Mahabhutas are subject to change at the will of the Prakriti. Shri Tattva, Supreme Lord is beyond that one. These five things, the earth element, water, fire, air, and ether element, the one which bounds the jiva, they are the cords, they bind them, where the Supreme Lord is beyond that one. Realizing, knowing, the Supreme Lord is not like us, not like me and you, that thinking, many people think that God is like us. One of them, we pity. And in Mahabharata, Duryodhana in Udyoga Parva, when after completion of 13 years of exile, when Duryodhana, he said he won't part the kingdom as agreed. And he was saying that they did not complete properly. We detected. Though Bhishma and Dronacharya said no, they have completed as agreed, he said he won't part the land. So now the Sri Krishna sent a messenger, family priest, to Dhritarashtra's court. Now give the hand in the kingdom back to Pandavas. Otherwise, there is no more negotiation. And give or war, which one you want? Dhritarashtra said, I will let you know. That I will let you know means he doesn't want to make a decision. That means he was not interested to part the land. At that time, and now everyone, Pandavas, they thought, now no point in negotiating with them. Let us now get us prepared for a war. So, and from Pandava's side, they sent Arjuna. Can you go and request Sri Krishna to be part of our team leader? We want his presence in our team. And they sent Arjuna as a messenger. Dhritarashtra, Yudhishthira sent Arjuna as a messenger to Dwaraka, to Arjuna to Dwaraka to request Sri Krishna to come. And Duryodhana also came to know that Arjuna has gone, and he also wanted to go. He also rushed towards Dwaraka, and he could able to reach before Arjuna could. Shri Krishna pretended that he was lying down and he was sleeping, and deliberately he put 2 seats, one behind his head and one in front of his feet. Duryodhana came first, and he saw Krishna sleeping, and Krishna saw Krishna sleeping. He thought Krishna is sleeping, and there was a seat in front of the seat, and he did not sit. I am Raja Raja. Raja Raja means king of kings. Why I should sit near his feet? And he rather sat. I will rather sit behind his head, whereas another chair is there. And in that, if you read the Mahabharata, Duryodhana never won any war. He could not. So, all the wars waged, he got lost. But Mahabharata serial which came a few decades back, or other poets, they extol Duryodhana, extolling him as a great warrior. But if you read the Mahabharata, he never won any war, only a cheat. And he was only a hardcore cheat and never won the war, but he assumed himself, I am a king's king, a Raja Raja, why I should bow down. Whereas Arjuna came, and Arjuna came later, he stood in front of him with folded hands. He did not even sit. And Jayam here, Duryodhana, he thought, Lord is sleeping, he is sleeping, and why I should bow down? And he had his understanding itself is wrong. When you start thinking God, Supreme God, why I should bow down in front of Him? When you think God is sleeping, in the next sloka he talks about God never sleeps. And this sloka, next one, Sarvata Panipadantat.
Sarvata Panipadam Tat.
Sarvato Akshishiror Mukham.
Sarvato Akshishiro Mukham.
Sarvata Shrutimalloke.
Sarvata Shrutimalloke.
Sarva Avritya Tishtati.
Sarvamavritya Tishtati.
And that Duryodhana thought Krishna is sleeping, and Sarvata Pani, his feet everywhere, hands everywhere, eyes everywhere, mouth everywhere, and ears everywhere. And the same is Narayana Upanishad that talks about Sahasra Shirsham Devam Vishwaksham Vishwashambhuvam Vishwa Aksha, and Sahasra Shirsham, and head everywhere, thousands of head everywhere, and Vishwaksham, whole world is his eye, and his eyes everywhere. And Purusha Sukta talks about Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishtadshangulam Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha. And another version it talks about Sahasra Bahu Purushaha, thousands of heads, thousands of shoulders, hands everywhere. And he is not limited to the modifications of Prakriti. He is beyond that one. And that is a Sahasra Shirsha. He is there. And the same is reflected here. And Purusha Sukta's message or Narayana Sukta's message is conveyed here. Hands everywhere, eyes everywhere, legs everywhere, mouth everywhere. And that Sarva Avritya Tishtati, he envelopes everywhere and he is there. And how he is staying, he is there. Sarvendriya gunabhasam,
Sarvendriya gunabhasam,
Sarvendriya vivarjitam.
Sarvendriya vivarjitam.
Repeat again. Sarva indriya
Sarva indriya
guna
guna
bhasam,
bhasam,
Sarva indriya
Sarva indriya
vivarjitam,
vivarjitam,
asaktam,
asaktam,
sarva bhuk
Sarva bhuk
chaiva
chaiva
nirgunam
nirgunam
gunabhoktracha.
gunabhoktracha.
Again 8 letters at a time. Sarvendriya gunabhasam,
Sarvendriya gunabhasam,
Sarvendriya vivarjitam,
Sarvendriya vivarjitam,
asaktam sarva bhuk chaiva
asaktam sarva brukchaiva,
nirgunam gunabhoktracha.
nirgunam gunabhoktracha.
Sarvendriya, Sarva Indriya Gunabhasam, and he has all the senses. And all the senses for us. When we start getting older, I can't see properly, I need additional support, I want to wear the glasses. As I getting older, I can't hear properly, I want additional hearing aid, I can't walk properly, I want a walking stick. And for everything, as I grow older, my senses starts failing, whereas Supreme Lord, all the senses functioning all the times, and not one eye. With my eye I can only see. With Supreme Lord, with his eye he can eat, with his eye he can hear, with his feet he can take, with his feet he can hear, all limbs, everything. Our degree of freedom in the senses is limited. Eyes can see only one thing, and ears can hear only one thing, hearing. My tongue only taste, my mouth only able to speak, and it's the skin only able to touch. One degree of freedom is one, whereas he is not limited to degree of freedom one. Infinite. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, all senses and everywhere. It's many seekers in philosophy also, they say God cannot have a form. How God can have a form? And if the God is having a form, and they don't agree to that one. God cannot have a form because he is beyond that one. Since the previous sloka he talks about Sarvendriya Guna, he has Sarvata Panipadam. God is omnipotent, omniscient, omnivorous. Since he is omnipotent, he can have a form also. Omnipotent doesn't mean he can't have a form. There is no rule that God cannot reveal himself to us. Or he can take an avatara and come down with all the limbs. He can show. He can since he is omnipotent, he can have Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. He can never reveal any form. He cannot have any form, he cannot reveal any form, or he can reveal all the forms. Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, Asaktam, not at all interested. He is not partial to one who is only giving some donation to the temple and doing all unwanted things and going to the place of worship and giving something, donation. Not that he is not at all partial. Where the dharma is there, he is there. Where the righteousness is there, he is there. His support is there. And asaktam sarva bhukchaiva, and he eats everything. Whatever it's a decomposition is happening. I buy a fruit, after 1 week it starts decomposing. I had to throw it. If that decomposition is not there, and where is the new fruit, there is no room for the new one. If only the fruit whatever is the fruit, it is always remain fresh. Where is the room for new fruits to come? This has to decay. And in the tree, so many mango season in Australia, full of mangoes, this ripe mangoes has to fall. And after ripening, it has to fall. If it is not, it's still hanging on. Where is the room for new one to come? And as we are growing old, we have to go down. We have to go, we have to die. Then only the new people will come. New ideas will come. New people gives an opportunity for the new people to come and play the game. If you want to hang around, you don't want to give room for the new generation, young people, then how can they grow? You have to decay. And whatever that even decomposition, he is devouring that one. And for me, I am a vegetarian, whereas the Supreme Lord, he decomposes both vegetable and animals. He is omnivorous. He eats even the whatever, even animals or humans or fruits, everything he eats everything like fire. Whatever you put in gets consumed. He devours everything. If he doesn't devour, then there is no digestion happens. In the stomach also, in the Narayana Upanishad, it talks about before we eat, the food get digested only if he eats. If he doesn't touch that one, food remains stale in the stomach. So agrabuk bhajantishta. Agrabuk. In Narayana Upanishad, it talks about, so saha agrabuk. When you eat, he partakes first. He eats, then only gets digested. Therefore, and he eats. You think of him and offer to him, and that is the prayer. Even if you don't offer, he will devour, but he will eat, but you won't get a merit of that one. And before, when you eat something, think that this is my offering to the Lord. In the Havan, I am offering. In a digestive fire, I am offering this food. May he partake this one. May he partake this one, so that food get digested and assimilated well. Sarvabhuk chaiva nirgunam guna bhoktrucha. Guna means in the next chapter, it is gunatraya vibhaga. Guna means rope. Guna means sattvic. We are bound by the Pancha Mahabhutas and 3 ropes: sattvic rope, rajasic rope, tamasic rope. Make us very dull sometime, make us active sometime, make us to think well sometime. 3 dimensions of our personality: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. These we are bound by that one. Nirgunam, Supreme Lord Shri Krishna talks about himself. He never is bound by this one. We are conditioned by 3 ropes. Whereas he is not at all conditioned. Nirgunam and guna bhoktrucha. Guna means filled with all auspicious qualities. We are a mixture of good and bad characters, whereas he only the goodness to the highest, to the complete. Guna, he has all the positive attributes. And in the Supreme Lord, that's why in meditation, when you think of the Lord with all glorious, positive, noble attributes, no blemish in him, contemplate on that one. Nirguna means he is not bound by the cords of tamas, rajas and sattvic, and no negative qualities, and full of positive attributes. Guna Bhoktrucha, and he is the enjoyer. He is reveling himself with these qualities, attributes. It's the quality of the God. How do I think about contemplate on the God? Shri Krishna is talking about you can contemplate on these attributes of the Lord. It will help in going deeper in meditation. Repeat after me. Sarvendriya gunabhasam.
Sarvendriya gunabhasam.
Sarvendriya vivarjitam.
Sarvendriya vivarjitam.
Asaktam sarvabhukchaiva.
Asaktam sarvabrukchaiva.
Nirgunam gunabhoktracha.
Nirgunam gunabhoktracha.
Bahirantascha.
Bahirantascha.
Bahir.
Bahir.
Antascha.
Antascha.
Bhutana.
Bhutana.
Acharam.
Acharam.
Charamevacha.
Charamevacha.
Sukshmatvat.
Sukshmatvat.
Tadavijneyam.
Tadavijneyam.
Durastham.
Durastam.
Cha.
Cha.
Antike cha tat.
Antike cha tat.
8 letters again. 8 letters. Bahirantascha bhutanam.
Bahirantascha bhutana.
Acharam charamevacha.
Acharam charamevacha.
Sukshmatva tadavijneyam.
Sukshmatva tadavijneyam.
Durastham chantike chat.
Durastam chantike chatat.
And in Ishavasya Upanishad, the same idea is carried out in Ishavasya Upanishad. Tadejati, tannejati, tadhure tudantike, tadasya sarvasya, tadantarasya sarvasya, bahyata. It's in Ishavasya Upanishad. It is tadejati, ejati means moving. Tannejati, it doesn't move. Ejati, tannejati. Tadejati, tannejati. And taddure ta antike. It is very far and still yet close. Tadantike. Tadantarasya sarvasya. It is there in everyone. Everyone of everyone. It is all pervading. It's so far. God is so difficult to get. He is so far yet so near. How near? Tad sarvasya antike. Antarasya sarvasya. It is there in everyone's heart. Tadantarasya sarvasya. Tado and it is not only inside. Tado sarvasya bahyata. It is outside also. Not only in, it is outside. And it's talking about same idea in Ishavasya Upanishad. It is talking about same idea. The same thing is talked about. Bahirantascha. Bahir. He is outside. Where is God? He is outside everywhere. Everywhere he is there. Bahirantascha. Sarvata panipadam. We talked about previous one. He is outside. Bahir. Antascha. He is within. Bahirantascha. Bahir. Antascha. Bhutanam. Acharam. He is not at all moving. Achara. He is not changing. He is stable. Acharam. Charamevacha. And he seemed to be moving. He seemed to be moving and he seemed to be changing. And like in atomic theory and atom, if you analyze the atom, there are three components. One is electrons orbit around the nucleus, having it's a neutron and a proton, and inside between the orbits there are electrons are orbiting in many orbits are there. Between the orbits, earlier they were saying that it's empty, nothing is there. Now the science is saying that it is not empty. There is no empty. There are waves are there. Something is moving, seem to be moving, and they say, scientists also saying, it is moving. Still, it is not moving. Still moving, not moving. In the nucleus, proton and neutron are there. And earlier they said it's empty space. It is not empty space. That quark, that something waves. It is like a wave. Something is moving, something is stable. Seem to be moving, seem to be stable. And this entire thing, entire solar system, it seemed to be not moving, still it is moving. Earth is now stable and still it is moving. Moon seemed to be, people are going there onto the moon to land. It's because it is there one place they are landing. Still we know moon is moving. It is moving, still not moving. Very far, still within everyone. It is everyone's heart. Bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha. And it is stable, still moving like a wave. And how to comprehend this God? He is everything. Seem to be stable yet moving. He is outside. Not only outside, he is within also. Moving, not moving. He is the smaller than the smallest. He is there within the smallest coronavirus. Within that also he is there. He makes the coronavirus to operate. He is there smaller than the smallest, and he is there within the bigger than the biggest. Big whale, he is within the big whale also. He is there in the bigger than the biggest, and he is smaller than the smallest. And then only he is there. And if this soul is now in the human form, now because of this karma, if this soul is next life, it has to be born as an ant, for example, and Lord will be there in the ant also. He is smaller than. Now in the form of a human, inside is there in the ant, he will take inside that one also, inside the virus. And sukshmatva tada tad vijnayam. It is to be known. You have to contemplate on this one. How wonderful is this one? Tad, who pervades everywhere, vijnayam, to be known. So dhurastam cha antike chat. It is very hard. Spirituality is very hard. Yoga is very hard. Meditation is very hard. I can't meditate. I can't do. He is very far. I can't do. Durastam cha antike tat. He is there. He is there right within. And if you think yoga is difficult, yes, it is difficult. If you practice, you can do that one. What is most difficult, that alone people, the sattvic people of the noble qualities, they want to acquire what is difficult. And with hard working, I want to acquire. And I want to do PhD, some people, they don't want to work, they want to give some money to somebody, they will give a certificate. I can get a certificate, just a doctorate I can get. But the real seeker of that one, he or she never goes to that one. He or she wants to work. 2 years, 3 years, I will work hard and I will earn that one. And PhD, if it is easy to be acquired, all you have to do is get enrolled, you will get PhD. I don't want easy means. I want to work hard. Then only I will appreciate the knowledge. It is the Durastham, Supreme God, is very hard to acquire. Why? You have to work hard. If you don't want to work hard, it is like when I am watching the television and easy, I don't want to do anything, and he should be easily accessible, then that is not the method the sattvic people resort to. The tamasic people like Duryodhana were resorting to that one. He called himself Raja. He did not want to work towards becoming a king. Only through the wrong means he wanted to become a king. Without working hard, he wanted to do that one. Negative people, tamasic people, that hook or crook I want to do. Duryodhana was an example, whereas Pandavas, I don't mind, we'll go into exile, we'll treat 13 years as a sadhana time and we'll get that one back. Sadhana, that is dhura, it is tough. but still we can do that one when you have the grace of the Lord. And durastam cha tantike tat. And these three shlokas again repeat after me. Sarvata panipadantat.
Sarvata panipadam tat.
Sarvato akshishiror mukham.
Sarvato akshishiro mukham.
Sarvata shrutimaloke.
Sarvata shrutimaloke.
Sarva avritya tishtati.
Sarva avritya tishtati.
Sarvendriya gunabhasam.
Sarvendriya gunabhasam.
Sarvendriya vivarjitam.
Sarvendriya vivarjitam.
Asaktam sarvabhukchaiva.
Asaktam sarvabhukchaiva.
Nirgunam gunabhoktracha.
Nirgunam gunabhoktracha.
Bahirantascha bhutanam.
Bahirantascha bhutanam.
Acharam charamevacha.
Acharam charamevacha.
Sukshmatva tadavidneyam.
Sukshmatva tadavijneyam.
Durastam chantike tat.
Durastam chantike chatat.
Vasudeva sutam devam.
Vasudeva sutam devam.
Kamsa chanura mardanam.
Kamsa chanura mardhanam.
Devaki paramanandam.
Devaki paramanandam.
Krishnam vande jagadgurum.
Krishnam vande jagadgurum.